Hello humans, Allison and Toni here with BlueLion, your favorite HR humans. Today we're coming to you with another HR tip of the week. Today we're going to talk about media relations, Toni.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, that's what there's a lot of these days. There's a lot of media.
Yes.
And we all know, based on everything that's happened in the last 5 years, that the media can go crazy and can go quickly. So really you want to make sure you're establishing a policy that it indicates to your employees what they should do if they're ever approached by the media. We're talking about newspaper, it could be a television reporter, it could even be an independent reporter. There's a lot of independent reporters popping up, magazine articles being written, things like that.
Blogs, social, all kinds of things.
A lot of social. So what do we tell them? What's our suggestion? What should we do?
There's a couple things, right? There's a couple things that are in play here. So the first thing to realize is it is important to have a media relations policy, even if you think, well, I'm not maybe a publicly traded company, or who's really going to be asking me questions. There have been things in the news I'm sure you've heard of, and all of a sudden your company name is splattered everywhere, and all of a sudden what you thought you didn't need, you did need. Your employees don't know what to do. So what happens if you get called? Ring, ring. Hey, Allison. Your company did something bad. What are you supposed to tell the employee or the person who gets blindsided? Mm-hmm. Preparing them ahead of time is how you're going to be the most successful with dealing with this problem, right? So the first thing that we want to make sure they know is who's the specific person when that phone call comes in that I should be sending that call to, or who should I be giving them the business card of or the phone number to. And that can be decided in the organization. Maybe you have a media relations team. Maybe it's your marketing person, the president, the owner, the vice president of operations. Somebody who's been trained on what to do is the first thing to really focus on. The second thing to remember, and I know it's instinctual, right, is what do we never say?
No comment.
Oh, I know it's the easiest thing we want to say because we want to keep ourselves out of trouble. However, it is the first thing that is going to get you into trouble for multiple reasons. They can spin their own story. Oh, Allison doesn't care about this or that.
Failed to comment.
Yeah, and then they get to write what they want. So how do you manage that instead, right? That's the clear question.
Yeah, I think the best thing to, in that situation, is ask the reporter for the question. So remember, right now we're talking about what that person who is assigned to talking to the media is going to do when engaging with the media. Ask them for simple questions, specific questions. Yeah. Give yourself time to formulate the response. So ask them for questions, go back, formulate responses, and provide those back to them. Now they're going to pressure you. Everyone loves deadlines. I have an hour till my deadline.
Right.
I need to know now.
Publish this immediately.
Toni, I've got to go to press.
Yeah.
I've got pressure.
Pressing. There's no press.
If they want your comment, they're going to wait for it. So definitely take the time to formulate your response correctly.
Yeah.
One thing you want to make sure you're very clear about when writing your policy is you can advise your staff not to speak to the media. However, you cannot advise them that they cannot talk to the media when it comes to their workplace environment. Yeah. That is protected under the
NLRB, which is the National Labor Relations Board, as concerted activity. So when you think to yourself, what does that mean, Toni? That means anything in working conditions. They're allowed to talk about management. They're allowed to talk about
air
quality, environment, benefits, because it has to do with their work environment. So it is protected. You can't say, if somebody asks you what your compensation is, or if somebody asks you about benefits, don't talk about it. They can decide not to. I can just say, you know, it's me, it's my personal information, but you can't tell them as an employer, you can't tell people anything. It is illegal and it'll get you in trouble in that specific policy.
Yeah. So bottom line it, definitely make sure you have a media policy. Make sure it's very clear who they should be directing media relations to, and make sure that person is trained up on what they should be saying, shouldn't be saying, and how to say it correctly. You never want to make yourself a front page news story for bad news. No. Make sure it's always good. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, and share our videos with your friends.